Employee engagement is a workplace approach resulting in the right condition for all members of an organization to give their best each day. Engaged employees care about their work and about the performance of the company and feel that their efforts make a difference. They will get all the benefits like promotion and monetary benefits, compensation. All the benefits is given for the actively engaged employee. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all to the first session on Unit 5. I am Meghana from the Department of Commerce, lecturing in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. So in today's session, let us start with the Unit 5, that is Employee Engagement and Psychological Contract. So in the last session, we finished with the Unit 4, that is Performance Appraisal, Promotion and Transfer. In today's session, let us start with the last unit, that is Employee Engagement and Psychological Contract. In today's session, let us discuss with the introduction, meaning and definition of employee engagement and psychological contract, types of employee engagement, drivers of engagement, factors influencing employee engagement, benefits, then psychological contract. So let us discuss one by one. So what do you mean by employee engagement? Employee engagement is a workplace approach resulting in the right condition for all members of an organization to give their best each day. Employee engagement is based on trust, integrity, two-way commitment and communication between an organization and its member. So it's based on trust, integrity and mutual understanding. It's a two-way communication. Employee engagement is a workplace culture. So it's in order to know the level of enthusiasm from an employee, from an individual employee. So how is individual contribution for the organization. So in order to judge or in order to know the level of enthusiasm from the individual. So how he can contribute for the organization. So that is all about employee engagement. Employee engagement is a human resource concept that describes the level of enthusiasm and dedication of a worker feels towards their job. So it describes, it explains the level of enthusiasm and dedication of an employee towards their organization, towards their job. Engaged employees care about their work and about the performance of the company and feel that their efforts make a difference. The sense of belongingness is high under this employee engagement. So they think that small contribution from individual will make a big difference for the organization. So they treat or they work effectively for the organizational achievement. So they concentrate on individual work and their performance and overall organizational performance. So they contribute for the organization for the achievement. So moving further, what are the types of employee engagement? So it's a human resource approach. It's a human resource approach. We give importance under employee engagement. It's all about individual contribution, individual enthusiasm and his dedication for his work. So the types of employee engagement are actively engaged, not actively engaged and actively disengaged. So three types of employee engagement. First one is actively engaged. So under this type, they work effectively. Enthusiasm is high and dedication is also high. They contribute for the organization. So they treat the organization is their own asset or their own business. So they contribute for organizational improvement. So they're ready to work hard and they're ready to work effectively for the organizational achievement. They involve themselves in organizational all the activity, in organizational activity. They come up with the innovative and new ideas for the betterment or for organizational achievement. So all this comes under the actively engaged. So next one is not engaged. So under this type, most of the employee falls under this type of employees. They are the neutral. So they won't belong to actively engaged or actively disengaged. So they invest their time, they fulfill their roles and responsibility. They are not ready to concern or they are not ready to take responsibility, extra responsibilities and role. They don't involve themselves in the organizational achievements. So their work, their mindset is to come and fulfill their responsibilities and role. So that's all about the not engage. So they are not concerned about the organization. So get your salary and work for that salary. That's it about this not engaged. So they are not ready to come up with the innovative idea. They are not ready to involve themselves in the organizational decision making. They are least bothered about the organizational achievements and organizational objective. So their objective is to fulfill their needs and desires to get salary. That's it. So that is not engaged. Last one is actively disengage. They make a big difference in the organization. So they influence others. So they influence on the team dynamics. So they are not ready to work effectively. They are not ready to invest their time in team building. So they make a big difference in the organization. So through this, from this type, the whole organizational culture or organizational and working environment will differ. So it will change from this actively disengage. So they are not ready to invest their time. So they belongs to poor performer. They are not ready to invest their time. They are not ready to contribute for the organization, as well as they are a poor performer. So these all are the types of employee engagement: actively engaged, not engaged, and actively disengaged. First and 3 is a dead opposite characteristics. So they concern more about the organization. Here they won't concern. So they are least bothered about the organization. So this not engaged is a neutral between this actively engaged and actively disengaged employee. So this is all about actively engaged, not engaged, as well as the actively disengaged employees. Moving further, drivers of engagement. So drivers of engagement. Employee engagement is driven by employee's desire. So it is depends on the employee's desire for all these things. So the types of employee engagement or employee engagement is influenced by all these factors. First one is meaningful work. So work, it plays an important role for the individual as well as for the organization. So if you love that subject or if you love that particular work, you will contribute for that and you will work effectively and you will fulfill those desires. So first one is work plays an important role. Next one is career path. So career path plays an important role for your employee engagement, that is your dedication and your enthusiasm. It influences your career path or career growth will influence on the employee engagement, your enthusiasm and your dedication. Next one is empowerment. So individual desire for the empowerment. If you want to increase your skills and knowledge, you'll work effectively in order to learn new things and in order to contribute for the organization. Next one, belonging. Belongingness plays an important role in order to decide your enthusiasm and your dedication. So actively engaged type of employees, the level of belongingness is high in the actively engaged employee. But in case of actively disengaged employee, the sense of belongingness is very less. So they are least bothered about the organization. So it is depends. Employee enthusiasm and dedication is employee engagement, employee enthusiasm and employee dedication is influenced by this sense of belongingness. Next one, recognition. Needs for recognition will lead to work effectively. Needs for recognition influences the individual, motivates the individual to work effectively in order to fulfill your desire, that is recognition. So actively engaged employee will get more recognition rather than not engaged and actively disengaged employee. They will get all the benefits like promotion and monetary benefits, compensation, all the benefits is given for the actively engaged employee, so that it gives the recognition for the employees. So recognition is a desire. It motivates the individual in order to work effectively, in order to achieve something in the organization. Next one, leadership. So actively engaged, your enthusiasm and dedication, all this contribution helps to take up the leadership role. So it gives a leadership quality for the individual. You can lead the particular group or for the organization. So it gives you the leadership power. Last one, fulfilling the work relationship. Your commitment towards your work, for your organization, and your relationship between the management and between the group. So it helps you to increase your dedication and enthusiasm and to decide and to work effectively to contribute for the organization. So all these are the factors which influence your enthusiasm and dedication, that is your employee engagement. So this is all the drivers of engagement. Moving further, factors influencing employee engagement. So what all are the factors which influence your employee engagement? So first one is organizational culture. Working environment plays an important role. So you will work effectively, but organization won't recognize your work and they won't appreciate your work. You won't get any benefits out of those work. So that it influences your work in future. So working environment, organizational culture, their policies, their rules and regulation will influence your enthusiasm and your employee engagement. Next one is industry. Industry plays an important role in deciding, or it influences your working environment as well as it influences on your working condition. Next one is job function and career path. Career path plays an important role. So it influences your career path, will influence on the working condition of individual. So all these factors, these all are the factors which influence employee engagement. Moving further, what all are the benefits of this employee engagement? Employee engagement helps to increase the productivity. Through this actively engaged employee, productivity will increases. They work effectively, so that automatically productivity will increases. Improve retention rate. So they'll get recognition as well as they work effectively, so that the organization tries to retain those employees. So it helps to improve the retention rate. Next one, increases revenue. When the employees start working effectively, automatically revenue increases. Next one, happy employees, happier customer. So happy employees, they work effectively as well as productivity and quality of the product will increases. So you can work effectively, the organization give the better result for their customer. So happy employee, happier customer. Next one, lower absenteeism. So it reduces the absenteeism. Next one, makes them loyal. Even organization give importance for them as well as the employees work effectively. They desire to achieve something, so that it helps to increase the loyalty among the employees. So these all are the benefits of employee engagement. Moving further, last topic is psychological contract. What do you mean by psychological contract? Psychological contract are defined by the relationship between the employer and employee, where there are unwritten mutual expectation from each side. So it's a relationship between employer and employee. So relationship between the employer and employee plays an important role for the organization as well as for the individual. So there are unwritten expectation from each side. Employee expects productivity, efficiency, loyalty from their employees. Employees expect job security, salary and recognition, status, all those things from the employer. So there are unwritten expectation from each side. Psychological contract is rather defined as a philosophy, not a formula or devised plan. Further, it is defined as a philosophy, not a formula or devised plan. Psychological contract, mainly psychological contract is a relationship between employer and employee. You need to maintain a good relationship between employer and employee for the organizational benefits, for the organizational objectives and achievements. So what all are the features of this psychological contract? First one is tangible. Tangibility. It may be a tangible or intangible. Scope. It may be a broad versus narrow. Time frame. Short term, long term. Stability. Stable or stable versus unstable. Equal, unequal. Symmetry. Equal and unequal. If you maintain a good relationship between the employer and employee, it acts as a benefit for the organization. It gives the positive result. if you fails to maintain a good relationship between the employer and employee, it will adversely affect on the organization. It will affect in a negative way. So this is all about feature and meaning of psychological contract. So these all are the features of psychological contract. According to your syllabus, you have only the meaning and features of psychological contract. So this is all about Unit 5, that is employee engagement and psychological contract. So now it is very important for the organization to retain the employees, and in order to increase the efficiency of the employee, so that they need to give importance for the employees' desires and needs. They need to maintain a good relationship between employer and employee. So for all this purpose, they need to take decision, they need to work, they need to take decision in order to improve all these factors. So all these factors plays an important role for organizational overall objective. This is all about Unit 5, that is employee engagement and psychological contract. Thank you.